free breakfast instead of something just because things about to go out stale. We can freeze it.
There is a link for Feedback Thursday to turn in. Well, it should work. We shall see. Thought I heard someone in the Discord. Is that you, Jed?
Yeah, that's me, bud.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. Just taking Sam away.
Right on. Alright, well, it's live. Time to get started. I posted the link, but someone said they were going to submit something, but I forget who it was. Well, I guess they haven't said anything, so I guess that means it's paint time, which is my favorite time. Actually, I wonder if I can just finish that one image I was doing. Let me see where I put it. Where did I put it? Is it cool? Is it Z? You know what? This is why I have Bridge. Bridge is great for this very thing. They still don't let you see it. It's like kind of dumb. Oh, it is this one. Alright. Never mind. Sweet. I guess I can finish it. But I kind of want to do some different brushes though. How have you been? How are things in Australia?
What's the time there, Caleb?
Yeah.
What time is it there?
Oh, what time is it? Oh, it is 7:04. So
Cool.
it is. I had just eaten dinner, so that means time to paint. Though I think I have to do some chores for the wifey after this. So we shall see.
No.
Though I probably just will play some video games or something. Who knows? Who knows what I'll have time to do after? Well, I probably need to do my Blender homework. I need to probably start that, but I guess I'll start that tomorrow.
Are you still playing Apex?
Yep, I'm in season 2 right now. I've been robbed of being gold already, or being platinum, because I've won like a couple of times already, and then the points don't register. I'm triggered, but so I'm like, what the? So that's annoying. But other than that, yeah, it's probably the only game I'm playing right now. And then I saw that Modern Warfare trailer. So
Yeah, dude, I'm keen for that.
yeah, I'm kind of down for that. Like, that sounds like fun. I'm down to do some old Modern Warfare. I mean, that's the game that I grew up on, so sign me up. But yeah, just Apex right now, I think, is the only game that I'm currently playing. Though my work just started like a Minecraft server, so then like I'm thinking about getting into that. But ironically, we've been playing like a Game Boy SP game called Advance Wars. And so
Okay.
it's like an old school kind of like a tactical military like strategy game. And so we all like take our turns playing like each round at work, and that's kind of fun. But yeah, I haven't really played many other games. I still gotta finish Kingdom Hearts. I still gotta finish like Red Dead Redemption. There's just too many games out, man. It's like, it's too much. Can't do it.
Not enough time.
There really isn't, man. Like, I'm trying to learn this like Blender stuff right now, and then that's like a whole other can of
Are you
worms.
doing Born Club?
Yeah, I'm in Von Ling's class that I decided to sign up for kind of randomly. I was like, alright, if I want to take it seriously, I probably need to like get like proper instruction kind of thing, you know, where I'm kind of like held accountable. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. But it's just hard with like a full-time job, because then I'm like, I get home from work and then I'm kind of like tired. I don't want to do anything. But it's not an excuse, so I need to kind of make it happen regardless. So I'll probably, and it sucks too because I have family coming over this weekend, so that doesn't help either. And then I'm still teaching CGMA, so it's literally I have like 3 jobs right now. I need to like, I'm trying to find time to do everything, and it's kind of a little bit overwhelming, but I'll figure it out. And regardless, he has the videos. That's probably what I want the most anyway. It's just the recorded sessions, so that way I can probably just watch them later in theory. Like, it's not the end of the world. But I do want to get as far as I can, considering that the new Blender, like, just came out.
Yeah, I learned everything I know about Blender from Vaughn and Jama. They're the 2 people that I learned from.
Yeah, I'm learning some stuff from Jan Urschel. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly. I'm probably not. I really like his stuff right now, currently. And yeah, so everything I'm learning from Vaughn as well, so I'm just trying to kind of keep up with some of these students that are like, oh, it's my first time doing modeling, and then they just render out like fully realistic, like Miyazaki like scenes. I'm like, what the fuck? And then they just, I'm like, where do you guys find the time? But they're like hella serious about it, which is good. It forces me to be like, all right, I can't be a freaking wuss about it. Like, I got to show up, even though like I have a full-time job and I'm teaching. So it's like I just need to not play Apex for a while, and that would probably solve my problem in hindsight, though I don't want to admit it. But I got to get them kills. How's the university? How's the uni?
Yeah, good man. I've been back for this is my 3rd week back. Doing lots of really cool classes. We've got Brian Linear for anatomy again.
Oh, Brian Winnie is coming through, or not?
Yeah,
Winia, whatever you say his name.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably just the Australian way to say it. He's our anatomy teacher, which is pretty cool.
Wait, does he live? Does he live in Australia?
No. He Skypes in. So he like finishes his job at Tripwire, and then Skypes in at like, I don't know, 11:30 at night over there.
Oh, man, what a time to be alive! If you would have told me I could have taken an online class with Brian Winia when I was in art school, back when it was like him, all the massive black guys, I would have been like, I would have thought you were a crazy person.
So that's pretty good. And then we've got Ned Rogers and Tim McBurney are like the other lecturers, and then Simon Scales, who owns the school, is another teacher.
That's tight.
So we're doing digital painting this semester, which is pretty well like your style of Gumroad. The whole semester I was doing that. So.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool, man. That's what a time to be alive. Oh, my brother is watching. What's up, Kaylee? It's my brother. He's awesome. And the boys, my little nephews, I got twin nephews, Kyan and Kalani. They're watching the stream, so I probably gotta keep it PC. What's up, boys? How's it going? But that's good, man. That's awesome that being in Australia, it's probably hard to kind of go to all the events and stuff like that, but y'all can get that kind of education like readily available. That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
That's the business. I don't know, man. When are you gonna come out to one of those events out here, Jaden?
I don't know when I can have some spare money.
Oh shit, Kenji! Oh snap! By Kenji is watching. I need to stop by. I need to stop by Terra Linda one of these days and say hi to Kenji's mom, Keiko. So I'm like right there, because Jeff is right there. Honestly, I do need to meet with Jeff, because I'm helping him with some stuff, ironically, with the hats and stuff. So I need to eventually one of these days just make a trip over to say hi to Jeff and Keiko one of these days. But yeah, Jaden, you should totally come out to one of these events. I mean, Lightbox is in September. I think that's the big one. That's what everyone's talking about right now.
I really want to go wait till I've got money
You just gotta save for a year, man. If you save for a year, you'll have plenty by then, or even 2 years if you kind of really feel like really plan ahead, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you save right now, you would have enough. You would have a year and what? A year and 2 months to save.
Yeah.
And,
my partner wants to come out as well, so.
Oh, that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, man, you should totally do it. I mean, all you really need is the flight. I mean, the flight's probably going to be the biggest thing, and then obviously the hotel, flight and hotel. But once you, I mean, you can once you get a cheap flight, you know, you just gotta book one early enough, and then you just set up for the hotel because you pay for the hotel when you get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it's like pretty easy. That's what usually I do is like I'll just look for flights that are cheap. Whenever I have to do like workshop stuff like that, whenever I'm paying for it myself, once I find the cheap flight, I'll book it, and then I'll just get the hotel. Then I'll just set up for the hotel. So I'm already been saving up money for the hotel for Lightbox, then I don't have to really worry about it.
Where's Lightbox? Well, what state is it in?
It's in California. Most things are in California. Unfortunately, you have to go like furthest west possible. So, but it is also where like you get the most bang for your buck because like you can visit a lot of things at once. That's the Vice kid. Glad to make the stream. We want to stop in. Yo, what's up, man? How's it going, dude? It's Feedback Thursday. That's what we're doing. I posted the link for people that are looking to get pay number feedback of their work. So if you are looking to get feedback or anything like that, then just throw it in there and we'll take a look at it. But until then, we'll be painting. Heading to Lightbox from Kansas. Oh, that's what's up. So yeah, just come find me. We have booth 208. Actually, we can talk about this right now. I think we have time since like no one's asking for feedback thing for whatever reason. So let's see. Lightbox. What do you call it? Tables? Lightbox. Oh no, shoot. I should say Lightbox Expo table. What am I doing? Floor plan, I guess. Is that what I'm probably looking at? There you go. I should probably look. Here you go. Show floor. There you go. Boom. So me and AJ are gonna be, if I zoom in here, enter in registration lobby. We're gonna be in 208. So right in the front and go left, farthest corner, right there. Boom. That's where I'll be. That's where I'll be finally selling prints for like the first time ever in my life. And then come find me later because I'll probably be drinking and in a club somewhere after the fact with my homie Fonz and Aaron. So we'll be doing things. Vice Kid, upload a painting he's been noodling on. You liar. You lied. Let me see. Feedback files. Fernando. Wait. I don't see anything. Let me check. Let's go. I'm looking at file requests, feedback. Are you in here? No. Huh. That's weird. Okay, let me see where this link took me real quick. Maybe that's the issue here. So let me do this. So I'm gonna go to it. I'm gonna choose from my computer, and I'm gonna choose for some reason on my wedding photos. That's random. All right, I will just upload a random wedding photo, and let's see if it gets in there. And then if it does, then I'll know where to look, because that will be the ultimate test. So let's see. Okay, done. So it is done. So where did it go? Let me refresh here. Alright, so it didn't go in there. Did it go into Feedback Thursday? Oh, it did go. Okay, here we go. That's where it went. I was in the wrong spot. That's my bad. Okay, Daniel, or Darnell. Darnell Tolliver. Hopefully I'm saying that well. Saying that correctly. This is what you're working on. This is interesting. So you're looking for some feedback on how far are you, or what are you looking for feedback on out of curiosity? Since this is kind of like your thing here, I don't want And while that's happening, my little nephews want to know what the brown thing is on the top. That's a building. I have line art on top of it, so it's going to be a building if you kind of zoom in there. It's supposed to be kind of an ancient ruin building. I just have been lazy and I haven't put in the lines to kind of going like more maybe especially like Middle Eastern Indian style architecture, I think. But I haven't gone in there and put the lines in to block it in. So when I do that, then this will all kind of make sense. Very, very loose drawing, but essentially that's what's supposed to happen. I just haven't painted the city in, but I will be painting the city in eventually. I'm going to put all these little small things for scale to kind of give it the idea that this is like a huge kind of like city on top of a mountain. Then I'll put some more stuff in there, but that's supposed to be what's happening right there. So I'll probably put like a little clouds in front of it for scale eventually too, and then we'll like, you know, build all that stuff out. So when you put clouds in front of it, it'll be kind of cool when I like paint it all out, if I ever finish this. But yeah, my goal is to kind of put like that kind of stuff in front of it, so that way it all kind of looks interesting. So that's the game plan. I've just been kind of rendering everything else out first to kind of get the scale down, and then once I do that, then I'm all good. But we are here officially on a Feedback Thursday, and so we have a volunteer here, Darnell, who's been gracious enough to throw us some work his way. So let's do it this way. Let's see if we can download it for starters. We will download, and I'm gonna download it to my Twitch, to my feedback folder. Boom. Cool. And we will open it up in there, and we're going to take a look here and see what Darnell was looking for in the feedback. So you're kind of asking about critique on values, comp, and what I need before I go further into rendering. Cool. So I think overall, compositionally, I think it's not bad. You could probably go a little bit wider, personally. So if I were to kind of put it here, like that's kind of what I'm seeing, and this is just kind of off my gut right now. This is kind of like it's going... You know, it's going in that direction. So that's nice, and then it kind of has this motion right here. So this to me right here seems like where the money shot's going to be in terms of your composition. So I will try to find ways to kind of lead us to there. And so that's where we want to kind of figure out like a rhythmic composition for yourself. Perspective-wise, it's not bad, but I think if you use more layers, we can probably get that perspective a little bit down. So what I usually like to do here is, I kind of demonstrated this before on someone else's page, someone else's work, about kind of just working very, very broadly in the very beginning, in terms of like not having any detail and just working on that graphic read, which you hear me say like over and over again, which I'm sure people are freaking tired of me saying. But there is some kind of truth to it in a way, and we'll talk about why like that actually works in this regard. So what the okay, sorry, I am triggered. No, so actually no, I don't want that. Why would that be on that layer? Oh, because I'm an idiot, that's why. Okay, all right, here we go. So what I would want to do here is just start with harder edges. I think harder edges are just easier to kind of work with. So you could probably work from foreground to background, but I would just, again, figure out that simple statement as early on as possible. I think that's probably where I would be going. So like something like that is fine, because you can't really go too crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like you really can't get into too much trouble. All you can really indicate is this, and then obviously this little piece right here, which is obviously going to be something relatively important. So the next thing you want to figure out is that's probably on the horizon line. We'll probably grab this value next, and then that's going to be the next important thing. Why is someone from Anaheim calling me? That's weird. I'm not going to answer it. Leave a voicemail. Okay, so this is the next part that we want to figure out, right? We're going to put it here, and then, dude, stop calling me. Sorry, it's probably a weird thing. Okay. Okay, sorry. And then people, why is everyone texting me right now? What is going on? Hold on a second. End stream. Alright, be done in an hour. Sorry about that, folks. So unprofessional. So this is what we do. So we do that. We'll figure this out right here. That's kind of what I'm seeing in terms of the piece. And then on the bottom of all of this, you got to have the ground plane. And I feel like the ground plane is where you're going to get the most bang for your buck in terms of that. So let's see if we can figure that part out as we're doing it. Wait, you okay? Okay, cool. Sorry. I heard like some random thing in the background. Okay. So I would probably suggest moving this all a little bit higher so we can have more room for the ground plane. So we have this piece right here. So I think actually this is actually not going to be as prevalent. This is probably going to be something like that. And then in front of this will be this value right here, which some nice strokes, I think, by the way. I like some of the strokes that are actually happening there. So we'll kind of break that down. And that kind of comes at an angle, it kind of feels like. So I'm going to try to keep playing off of that. Like so. And then obviously you have this building that's going to be behind it. So that's going to be kind of cool. So we definitely want to like showcase that a lot in this piece. And I'll even kind of play the game here and put in that little piece there and your nice little rendering thing there as well. That nice little highlight. So that's kind of cool. I think where the game begins though is getting this this piece of like land to kind of look correct in terms of like a long valley. So I think if you look at some more kind of like valleys, you'll probably get more. You'll probably see like how complicated things can be when you're looking at something that has atmospheric perspective in terms of like being more, what's the word? I guess more organic perspective. So if I'm looking at some, let me see here. I already have some reference from things that I've done in the past. So I have some good reference, I think, from, let's see. I have some from New Zealand, which I think would be kind of helpful here. And we're going to open these up. So here's like some good, I don't know who that guy is. That was just downloaded. All right. Here's a good example of like how that perspective changes. And so something that always happens when you look at perspective, if I were to draw lines, like when you want to see where the next kind of layer of detail kind of happens, we have this horizon line right here. But then obviously the next layer of detail in terms of textures right there. The next layer of detail of textures like probably right there. And the next one's right there. And then obviously we have this whole line right there. And this one, you can kind of see the same thing. You have a horizon line right there. It's very, very small, very, very small, kind of big. And then obviously it just goes from like here onward. So the problem with yours is I don't think that we get enough of that scale for how far something is. So if I were to open up this this piece of like this piece of reference here, just to kind of look at the ground, I'm just going to take this chunk right here, and we're going to copy and we're going to paste it. I think you'll see there's actually a lot happening there that's worth kind of noting in terms of really utilizing like perspective, atmospheric perspective, or how far something can really, really go. So I can touch the canvas right here for you. I'll just do that myself, and then this might make it a little bit easier here. Cool. And then we'll fill this out. Yeah, we can fill this out, and then it should be fine. Oh, come on. Why the hell is this not? Oh, that's why. I hate when Photoshop does that. It's so dumb. Hey, select the right freaking value. Why would it do that? Why does it go back? Why is it not selecting? That is so weird. Okay. Can I? How do I fix that? Okay, let me do this right here. Sorry, it's not selecting the right. It's selecting the right color, but it's selecting it in the background, and I don't know how to fix it.
So where the color box is,
Yeah.
there'll be like a little square around it, like a white one, and you've got the other two behind that as well. You have to click on the outside of the square. That's
What? Really?
yeah.
Why is that even an
like
option?
You hit it by, I don't know. You hit it by accident, and it ruined my Photoshop until I figured out how to fix it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. That's dumb. Alright. Friggin' Adobe. Alright. Usually I just click the thing, but hey, you learn something new every day, folks. You learn something new every day. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do actually is I'm actually going to try to mimic a little bit of the atmosphere or a little bit of the perspective going on in here. So what actually I'll do here is I'm actually just going to take this and line it up and see if I can kind of mimic the perspective here. And so what I can actually do here is get a little bit more lines here. So if I lower the opacity here, what I'm hoping is going to happen is I can turn all this stuff off. And I'm going to hope is going to happen here is I can actually put in lines on this piece. And these lines will kind of be little guidelines for me of where things should be perspective-wise. So this is kind of an easy thing you can do. So we have this, we have that. The lines are kind of there, and then the layer of detail kind of goes in right here, 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 here. So there's all kinds of stuff kind of happening here, and then there. So that's probably like where. Whoops. Okay, wow, so those lines are like super, super thin too. There's like not a lot going on here. Like it's super, the level of detail like of like this perspective is like a lot thinner than you would guess. So that's why it makes it really, really hard. So anyways, let's go back here now. So if you move all this stuff up and move it out here, what I think we're gonna find is that the level of like detail in terms of really getting that distance is gonna be hard to kind of do. So okay. So by kind of raising the horizon line and kind of stretching it out, hopefully you can kind of see where we're going with this in terms of like, let's just say for a quick example, I'm just gonna use the this green as kind of like a little piece to kind of show like overall distance in the back. So now if you kind of watch this, you see how these small little angles here are gonna help kind of convey a lot of distance without having to do too much. So it's gonna create a lot of like visually interesting negative space. And then if I take this piece right here, and I'm going to use this color right here as kind of like your base. What's going on here? Oh, that's one. I was like, what the hell? Okay. We're going to use this as kind of a base here and there. So that's what I think is probably what needs to happen here is we have to kind of find a little bit of a... Does this make sense, by the way? Like, kind of how I'm breaking it down. Like, the angles become super, super thin, especially for landscapes like this. And this is something that, like, I struggle with all the time, by the way. So don't even worry about it. Like, if you feel like you're not getting it, I can, like, to this day, I cannot do this by eyeballing it. Like, I have to sit there and like get perspective or get a photo to kind of like get me halfway there. So that way. So that way I don't have to sit there and like kind of guess and fudge at it for hours on end. So turn that off. You see how that's already kind of looking now? That's what I'm talking about, is that's kind of what you're missing. And so it's one of those things where I feel like people that do like landscape environments kind of go, oh, like I don't need perspective, like because it's landscape, right? When it's like even kind of further from the truth, because if like that doesn't look right, it looks weird, and it kind of drives me insane. Only because like I mess up on this all the time, and so you have to be like really really careful. That every angle when you're doing this can literally be the life or death of your painting. Which sounds super extreme, but like it really is kind of like, it really is like that. Like if you don't have the right angle or the right kind of like negative space, it can really make your painting feel very like amateurish in my opinion. And if you look at all the kind of like, this is why I'm like in awe of like old school like California matte painters and stuff. Like I don't know how they do it, to be honest. Like, how they can go out into the world and just look at something and do it, it's freaking beyond me, dude. So, but yeah, that will help you if you get more of this going on. It will make your life a little bit easier. Why does it say I'm offline? Am I still online? What's going on here? Jaden, you still hear me, right? I'm still there? Okay.
Yeah, but it's still here.
Okay, that's weird. It says I'm offline. That's so weird. Okay, whatever. Cool. So he still sees me, so we're good there. Cool. So yeah, so once you get that part figured out, I feel like it's actually really easy to get these next parts down. So let's actually try that, and we can still use this to the side over here as kind of like a little bit of a guide. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be married to it, but I do like the overall spacing. And so whenever you see like a good photo like this, if you ever see one, like it's always good to kind of like evaluate it in that way in terms of like, why do you like it? And so that's the first thing that I would think when I look at that photo is I'm like, yo, this looks sick because it has a nice kind of level of like scale to it that you wouldn't normally get. And so you don't want things to be too flat either, especially like it's also kind of like a big kind of like giveaway is when things are like too flat and you don't have like you know, hills or like the ground is like super super flat. That'd be kind of boring. And I kind of think of it, I kind of give like the idea of like a MMORPG when you have to like run from one place to the other and like the ground's just completely fat. That would be like, or flat, that would be kind of like boring. So any ways you can actually kind of like create a little more of an overlap, that kind of stuff is, I think, is really really important too. So this is me trying to kind of actually create that in the painting here. I'm gonna actually make this smaller because I still want to use your color palette because I think your color palette is still kind of visually interesting. So if I do that, then we should be good to go. Yeah. And you still have your lighter shapes too, which is kind of nice. So maybe what we'll do is we can actually use this right here. So how am I gonna obviously make this work? I have no clue, but did I just delete it? I did. Oh, I'm painting on the wrong layer. What am I doing? I'm a noob. Sorry. So yeah, so then what I would do is I'd make this all one layer. And so when I make it one layer, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out the lay of the land. So right now, like I'm looking at it like this, and that's kind of what I'm seeing from the piece. So again, I don't want to be married to it, but I do like the way that it's being currently laid out. So I want something like that is what I'm thinking. And then this can kind of go in that direction. So you want to have like multiple forms, whereas yours right now you kind of get it right here. Like I kind of see that form right there, but it's not really kind of like blending into anything, and it kind of feels a little bit off. So that's what I mean is like those angles right here are kind of like all over the place, and you got to make sure that is like fixed right away. So that's why like I would say like don't detail stuff, because that's something that like you have to sit there and really figure it out, and until you get that right, it really doesn't matter like how much detail you kind of put in the thing, because that's gonna be your problem for the most part. Like every stroke you're gonna make is gonna be kind of like off, and then you're gonna get this kind of muddy thing because you're trying to kind of go back and fix the stroke back and forth, and then you're gonna be sitting there like, well, why don't these strokes like look nice or whatever, or why does it feel flat? And that will probably be the issue as to why that is. So, quick little suggestion for you. And so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to kind of, two tones are always like good to use, like whenever you're doing any kind of thing, like any kind of object, like having like two tones, like a light or dark tone, or like some kind of graphic tone with it is nice. So for here, it's like the light grass and the bushes, like, you know what I mean? So having that, I think, is always like worth doing. So I'm trying to adhere to that and see if I can kind of create some nice kind of graphic tones or graphic shapes here with that. And then the last thing I would probably do, obviously, is then to mix in the path, and then that can kind of be however you want. So I mean, in theory, I may want to kind of come this way actually, and then maybe as it comes over the hill, maybe it's being obstructed. So not having like a full-on like set path where you can see the entire path in its entirety, like you can see the top of it, that's always kind of like, I don't like to do that, in my opinion. Like, it's kind of against my rules. Like, you always want to try to create a little bit of like an overlap so that way you can't see it. So like right there, it's kind of like those old like cartoon movies where like Tom is like chasing, or like the Roadrunner's chasing, or the coyote's chasing the Roadrunner over the hills, and it kind of has like that, they go back and forth over the hills. It creates that weird perspective. That's kind of what you want to be aiming for, in my opinion. So, hopefully that makes sense. So as I'm kind of doing this, this isn't perfect, but it is giving me a little bit more to work with. So then, like, I could start maybe blocking in some things here, like in terms of like, do I really want to start blocking in the houses? Like, that's probably the next thing I would start thinking about, because you do have that house right there, so I don't want to change it too much. And then obviously you do have these houses back here, which are nice, and so I don't want to not put those in either. So I guess we can put those in front of this right there. So cool. And so then the placement of these is going to be important too. So like where you place these houses needs to be right in the scale as well. So like I would probably, you know, why is this not showing up? Oh, come on. What the hell? Okay, there we go. I don't know why that wasn't showing up, but so damn, what are you typing, Jaden? Jaden's like typing a storm over there. What the hell? That's random. Alright, hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna mute Jaden real quick, because it's hella loud, dude. Typing a storm up in here.
Sorry.
I don't know you're typing. Alright, yeah, so we can work this part out here, and then what you want to do is then kind of make sure the angles are kind of making sense, so that way they kind of lead your eye from one place to the other. So that's what I would do, is then like the placement of these things are going to be like super, super important in terms of like making sure that we have these pieces in here, like kind of all over the place. Like I would even put more of them, like, you know what I mean? Like the more you put, like little small things like that. So then once you get all this stuff, which by the way, this is like still ugly to me, so I'm just gonna make it one value actually for now because it's so bad. But what I did see though out of it is I want to separate like two things here. I would want to do it this way. I want to have a piece like that in there, kind of in the middle. So something like that, right? I'll have that in there. There we go. Okay, so we'll have that. That will be like the first like piece. Questionable, of course. This is kind of questionable because this doesn't look too great. And then I want to have, I'll just put a lighter value behind there. And the lighter value will be right here. And that will be like so. Alright, you see that? Now we're talking. Alright, now we're like gonna have some fun. And this is the part where like I would probably sit here for an obscene amount of long time, an insane amount of like godly amount of time, and seriously like just paint in this, in terms of like every angle like needs to be correct, and if it's not, then like I'm gonna be unhappy. So this is how meticulous like I would probably get with it. Like I would be really meticulous about this. Because you probably should be, like, in theory, like, because this is a very simple environment in general, so, like, you should want this all to, like, read really nicely. Like, you should want, like, every plant that you put down, every bush, to kind of really mean something. Like, I always talk about this idea in my classes about, like, painting with intention, and this is kind of, like, an example of that, like, everything needs to have a really strong intention. Like, it shouldn't be random. So, like, if you're putting down, like, random strokes, it's gonna feel like that. And you shouldn't do that. And you can get happy accidents every once in a while, but that shouldn't be what that shouldn't be what you're aiming for. Like, it's like me taking a 3-point shot. Like, I'm not gonna make it, but every once in a while I'll make a 3-point shot, and I'll act like I meant to do it. But it's better when you can do it with intention that whatever you shoot, you meant that you went for it. And that only comes from practice, and, like, a lot of practice. So this is where like you really gotta like sit here and really kind of evaluate like what good pieces of landscape art look like, and really evaluate the perspective, really evaluate like the choices in terms of like where they're putting all of their forms in there. So this is gonna be like super cool. Nice. So if I'm doing this, like, I'm thinking about that idea of like negative space too. Like, I want there to be a little bit more negative space as we get further back. So you can kind of see like how small some of these details are getting, and you can already see it right there, like how it's working. Like, it's already starting to kind of look good. And that's where the money is. This is where I would probably paint this on its own layer, this path. So I'm actually going to do that just for the sake of argument. Like, I don't want to not practice what I preach here. So on a separate layer, I would actually paint this on its own, this path on its own layer, because I really want to make sure that every line here is like really making sense and really helps out that flatness there. Alright, you kind of see that happening now a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that. Like, does that... And you start to kind of get more omnidirectional with it too. Like, you have more than one kind of thing. I like doing like paths that are kind of omnidirectional, so it kind of gives it the idea that there's like more than one path to kind of go in any given direction. So I kind of dig that kind of stuff too. Like, that maybe there's a couple more. Maybe there's like patches and stuff like that. So now it just feels like it's leading us more in that direction. And then now, you know, I don't want this to kind of... I still want this to kind of be the focal point. So if I'm gonna have like crazy detail here, I would still want like some of the overall like little hints of like edges to kind of be crazier towards there. But then as I get further away, I would want that to be more simplified. You know what I mean? Like, I would want that to kind of go in this direction. Yeah, so that's kind of where I would personally take it. So then I don't know then too if I really want to have all that stuff back there. I'm wondering too if just having this here then opens this up to kind of lead me from this way all the way up to here. So I'm just kind of, this is me just throwing out an idea here right now, because this isn't 100%, but this is where you can figure that out though, and we're not really worried about overall detail. Like, I seriously wouldn't go any further than this level of like rendering until like I can get to this point where like I feel really happy or I feel really confident about what's going on in terms of that graphic read. So people that like know me and go, oh, Kalen's like really into shape, so this is the reason why, right? So then I can really sit there and kind of figure out like where do I want the space to go, because like once you get to here, like it's really easy to kind of sit there and like add texture brushes. Like that's really easy in my opinion. Like anyone can go in here and grab, let's see what texture brush is there. I was just using one a minute ago. Like anyone can go in here and grab this and then like throw it around, or let me try out that color dynamics for starters here. For starters, like anyone can go in and do that. Like that's not that hard. Anyone can go in and hit and grab the mixer brush, and you know what I mean, and just like mix to your heart's content and get like that kind of stuff. But where it's most impressive to me is efficiency. Like there's no fat in the painting. You want your painting to be a good, healthy painting. Like I want it to be no fat, all protein. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want there to be anything that's not necessary in there. That to me is like more impressive than using kind of like crazy brushes and stuff like that. So this is where I would operate for a very long time. This is where I spend like 90% of my time. Not 90%, like 70. I'm capping. I spend like 70%. I'd probably say 70%. 70% of my time is spent like figured out going to here and like really trying to figure out like graphically like what's going on. And then the thing that you can do too is I'd recommend, if you're bad with color or you're not sure about the values, then you can always hit Control Y for me, and that will help you figure out this part too. And this allows you to kind of paint too in grayscale, and that should make your life a little bit easier too. And then if you hit Control Y again, it's still in color. So that's working gain, working gray dot 20% actually is the. So if you go to View, go to Proof Setup, go to View, Proof Setup, Custom. There should be one called Working Gray dot Gain 20%. It's one of the top ones. And then the hotkey for that is Control Y. So we'll do it one more time. So just go to View, Proof Setup, View, Proof Setup, Custom. Go to Working Gray dot Gain 20%. Leave all the shit alone because I have no idea what the hell it does. So you have to look it up yourself. Hit OK, and then what it allows you to do is it allows you to work in grayscale while painting. So that value right here that you chose is actually pretty cool because it actually blends in with everything. But then that light on itself is actually going to create like a really interesting like graphical read. So if I were to actually paint this out, what should be happening here is that I could take this like so. And then it's going to create that nice kind of graphical... Ah, shit. Sorry. It's going to create that nice kind of windmill kind of like idea there. You see that? You see what's going on there a little bit? And then this is where the juice comes in. You ready for this, Jaden? Ready for the juice, dude? My favorite part. Ready for the juice? They don't teach you this in Australia. I'm just kidding. You just get that and you put a soft shadow on that right there.
Juice.
The juice. You give me the juice. So all you gotta do is find any excuse you can to put a gradation. So my excuse is gonna be right there. So here comes the juice. All you gotta do is just take a little bam. Bam.
So much juice.
You see that? A little gradation? Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You know what? I'll even do it a little bit upward there, a little bit too, because it's a little sexy when you do it upward like this. So, boom.
The School of Hard Chalks.
The School of Hard Chalks. You already know what it is. Fly me out, Australia. You're not ready. Okay. Anyways, put a little juicy action right there. little gradation, boom. And so now we're talking like juice, right? And then of course we could put some more juice right there. We'll just throw that out there like so. But what we're gonna do though is we're still gonna create that gradation from left to right, because that would be kind of cool. Let's go. Just like that, boom, boom. It's light work, that's easy. You already know what's up. And then obviously you can see how it's kind of showing up. Dang. But obviously I wouldn't pick this color because the color is too red. I would probably pick a cooler color, in which that would be... Actually, I don't know. Damn, that's a weird color that you have already right now. Let's see. Right there. Boom. There it is. No. I should take that back. Take it back. Damn, this is a really hard color to work with. I'm not gonna lie here. I need it to be like a neutral. I mean, is it that? Wow, this color is freaking deceiving. What is this freaking demon color that you've given me to work with? What the hell? I don't get it. I mean, I guess that works. That looks so weird. I'm gonna do this. I guess that's the color that I probably want, but that doesn't look nice either. Yeah, I would change the color of this roof because I have no idea. You're on your own, dude. I don't know everything, but I have no idea how to make a cool color out of this one because it's like it's cool, but it's like not cool, and it's weirding me the hell out that I can't. Is it because of the grain around it? I don't know how to make this work, dude. I thought I did, but I guess I could just go for a more desaturated version of that, maybe. You know what? Maybe because it's already the cool side of it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I just needed to go in that direction. Okay, I figured it out. That's the color that I would like. But we still need to find some ways to put some blue in there, of course. I just don't know like where I begin to do that. Oh, you know what's throwing me off too about the color? It's that your choice of warm color is probably not like the most ideal. So I think that's what's probably throwing me off. So if I'm looking at this right now, if that's like your ideal like cool color, then I got questions. So let's do this. Let's actually fill it. I'm gonna keep this. So we'll fill it like that. So I'm just not sure if I'm sold on this being the color of light, considering that it's like a bright day. So I think, in my personal opinion, we need to go less orange and more of like that color. I think that color is more manageable. Like something in between that and this, I think is a more manageable color. And then of course, once you get that down, you can kind of create those nice gradations that I was telling you about, the juice, where you kind of create like a nice little stroke. But I would imagine we just want to make that less, I mean, it's pretty far away, so I'd imagine you can get that a little bit less saturated, so it's not as crazy. And then from there, though, I'd imagine we want to get a little bit more green or a little bit more blue, a little bit more sky into there. So like I would probably put some of this green in here personally, like because it already kind of looks cool. So that's what I would do for like my shadow color a little bit more, is throw in this kind of stuff. Because that's already kind of looking a little bit juicy now, in my opinion, because it feels like it kind of creates that atmosphere a little bit more. So now we're creating juicy bits here, and when you create the juicy bits, then life is good. All right, I gotta zoom in here. Sorry, I gotta zoom in to act like I know how to draw cylinders, which I do not. Sorry. And then if you want to like make it even more juicy, like you can start to really kind of think about like shadows. So this is where I start to think of like crazy shadow patterns here. So if that's there, alright, that would be like the shadow pattern underneath it. So you can do some stuff like that where like you can build that out. And so that kind of shadow pattern can be really interesting to it will kind of really make it pop out a little bit more. And then of course you would blend that out. But what I would do too is like, don't be afraid to build it in 3D as well. And then like, just put it under different lighting conditions to see what would happen. So that's also kind of a thing you can do there. So yeah, like right there, that's kind of cool a little bit because it actually creates the shadow for me. So think of like interesting lighting patterns or like lighting shapes or shadow patterns. I think is probably, I guess, the way I want to describe it. That could help out too. But for now, we'll just kind of leave it this color and I'll have you work that out yourself. But yeah. And so then once you get comfortable with all that stuff, the next phase, in my opinion, is just to kind of round things out. So like you would go in here and just round it out. Just round it out. And that's the juice. That's the second part of the juice. Where now it's like, oh, it's no longer polygonal. Now we can round edges out. And that's where that whole edge control thing comes in a little bit too. So it all kind of becomes like full circle. You could even do a little bit of lighting tests. Like I noticed you got some lighting kind of coming in here as well. So, you know, there's no reason why you can't come in here and kind of use a gradation tool and throw that in, because that could be kind of interesting if that's the case. And then obviously you can kind of blend that out as well. Like it really depends on how you want to go about it, but boom. Does that make sense? Kind of how I'm breaking that down. And of course I'm going to throw in some like cooler colors whenever I can, because I always need an excuse to throw in cooler colors to kind of blend that out. And then of course even here, like you still want to have like little hints of like a little more hints of form and stuff like that. And this is actually a good assignment that you helped me figure out, actually, because eventually I want to get back to mentorship, and eventually I want to do a class that just focuses on just graphic compositional painting, and where we just do it in like black and white, maybe a little bit of color. But I want to do something like this where we just focus on just like landscape painting, or not landscape, but just any kind of like painting, but we just focus really on just like the graphical read of things. That's my jam, right? This would actually be a good assignment because it's really helping someone figure out like how to create a lot of distance with landscapes. So I appreciate it. This is actually helping me figure something out that I was trying to figure out how I'd break it down. Then of course you could go into here. You can blend some edges out just by kind of creating a little bit of that atmosphere. Bam, done. Juice. Whatever you want to do. And then two, what I would do personally, because I'm a cloud whore, and I'm not ashamed of it. I would overlap the clouds. Yes, so sexy. I love clouds, man. Don't judge me. So now I would cloud whore it out. So then that way it creates like a little bit of that. Oh, that should be the name of a book. I want to make a book, right? Like an art book where I paint clouds. I should call it Cloud Sled. That would be a hilarious book name. Why didn't I think of that? Sorry if my younger nephews are still watching. That's really inappropriate. Okay, anyways, there we go. Cool. So that's where I would take it. And then looking at this, I will leave you some areas of lines, I guess. So this is where lines can really help out, by the way, because lines will force you to kind of figure out the lay of the land. So. Cool. I think we're good because it's already 8 o'clock and I think I've demonstrated enough what I would do differently, and hopefully that makes sense. 'cause that's where I would go with it. So, let's save it out, and I'm gonna give you a link right now. Are you on Facebook by any chance? Andy Collins. Oh, what's up, Andy? What's up, Brian? Sorry, I didn't see these. These are like 28 minutes ago. I'm an idiot. Next live stream, can you paint Cloud Gatherer painting for me? Yes, I do need I do owe you a painting. I haven't forgotten, Jaden. I think about it all the time, and it upsets me that I haven't like done it yet because you gave me those yowies. Every day I'm so busy, and I'm like, I didn't do Jaden's painting that I owe him, but it will happen eventually, probably in Australia, but it will happen. But it'll definitely happen. Okay, you can't get on Facebook. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a link in the chat, and then yeah, I hope people don't download it. I'll put it in the Twitch, I guess. I'm gonna link it. I'm gonna link you that painting, so then you're good to go. All right, but don't worry. Most people aren't gonna take your stuff. I mean, at that point, it's like it is what it is. All right, copy Dropbox link, and then there you have it, good sir. Oh, you said my bad, I muted. No, it's a problem. It's fine. I think there was a little bit of feedback, Jaden, coming from your microphone. You can probably unmute yourself now. It's cool. Oh, you said you can get on Facebook. Oh, nice. If you can get on Facebook, message me, then I'll send you this link privately to this PSD. And hopefully that works. Okay, Brian, showing up on Glue, goddammit. Yes, Brian, I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Picardo. I'm on a lot of things, actually. I'm on too many things. Let's see here. What am I on? So I'm streaming on 4 different platforms. I'm on Picardo, or I guess it didn't send. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, cool. By the way, if you haven't followed me on YouTube, just follow me on YouTube. Even if you don't, you're not going to follow me. If I get to 100, then I can actually have like an actual name for my YouTube channel instead of having to like put down this whole like atrocity of like a long ass name. But I can't change my YouTube channel name to put like youtube.com/KLNR until I get 100 on Facebook, which is really dumb, by the way, because Twitch doesn't do that for you. But it is what it is. So cool. All right. Yeah. Jaden, does that make any sense? Actually, I'm kind of curious your thoughts. I mean, you're kind of doing environments, stuff like that. You're in cloud paintings. Like, do you have any suggestions? I'm kind of curious.
No, that makes sense. That's kind of the same stuff you say in the tutorials that you do. So,
right on. Okay, shameless plug. I appreciate it. So yeah, if you are interested in this kind of stuff, then I do have a Gumroad page. I don't know why I'm branding it because I haven't made anything for God knows how long, but I do have a Gumroad page, and I do sell somewhat affordable tutorials. It's like $2, $8. Like nothing's gonna be more than $10. Just small stuff, talking about some of these things. So if you are down about it, like whatever, you can check these out. I probably will be making free content eventually. Now that I'm like in a better place, like with my company that I like to work for, and
just wait till his birthday.
Yeah, wait till my birthday. No, I'll do them before my birthday, guaranteed. Usually on my birthday, I do a free tutorial, but for this one, I'll do them before that. I want to do more community stuff. So, yeah, so follow me on Gumroad if you're not there. Go to my YouTube page. I think if you just type in Kalen Chalk, it should just show up. Bam, right there. I'm streaming live. But if you go to my page, look at this. Look at that channel, youtube.com/channel UC. Like, that's so ugly. I wish that could just be Kalen Art. But can't do it till I get 100 followers, which is stupid. I'm at 68, so I'm almost there. So yeah, do that. And then if you're at Lightbox Expo, just remember, come hang out. I will be selling some prints for the first time like ever in my life. And you can, there we go. Oh, Darnell, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Go to artists. No, where's the show floor? There we go. Boom, right there. Let's see. 208. Boom, right there, upper left corner. And that is myself and the amazing Anthony Jones will be doing some stuff there. Anthony Jones, I think, is doing a demo, I believe. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. Artist A through F. Dude, I'm not on here. Man, I need to be on here. Or I need to add my stuff, but I'm not cool. I'm not cool like AJ. So yeah, he'll be there. Look at his little face. So yeah, we'll be there, and he's doing some demos. So, wait, should I be on here somehow? I don't know. Whatever. Oh, Amber Blade Jones is right there. She took my class a long time ago, actually. She's really good too. I don't need to hang out with Amber, actually. Yeah, she's tight. If you haven't seen her work, she's a badass. You should check out her work too. She's cool. She's a cool girl. All right, but anyways, those are the only things. So yeah, message me on Facebook. I'll send it to you. In the meantime, thank you, Jaden, all the way from Australia, for coming to hang out. Keep me company. I really appreciate it.
It's all good, buddy. I'll join next time as well.
Yeah, we'll talk yowies, all that kind of stuff. I'll tell my wife you say what's up. And yeah, dude, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Thursdays are the days that we do the feedback and stuff. Tuesdays is just paint and just hang out. But yeah, come hang and do whatever. And I'll see you guys when I see you, okay? All right, guys, take care.
Cool.
And as
See ya.
always,